that watched. Okay, so what I'm saying is the only thing you can put in is the accumulated there, because that's always the first day of the year. So they give me equipment is 5280. Right. The other things I can't put in, because I first need to make sure that everything was recorded or not recorded or whatever. So this is only land and buildings and equipment. And land and buildings, I first want to read. What do they tell me? And if I look here, they tell me the following transactions concerning the building took place and were not recorded. So that means the land and buildings of 104 is the opening. Didn't we do this already? Oh, feels the same as the previous exercise. 104, 500, okay? But now they say new offices were built and repairs were done to the windows. Okay? So, in other words, am I going to show the repairs and the new office? No. Only the new office. Right. If they said they broke down the building and put in windows that were never there, then you would add it. Okay. So now in the end, it's going to be 149,500. And for myself, I'm just going to highlight this, that I don't forget this. And I'm also going to tell myself, because it's not recorded, and they don't tell me how it was done, so we can either assume that it's either bank or creditors control, because they don't tell me how it was done. In the memo, I would have to mark both, because both of them are going to increase with 47. You agree with me? Yes. Okay. So you can decide if you want to do it with bank won't increase, that bank will decrease and creditors will increase. You choose which option, because they didn't tell me if it's an invoice or cash. Now let's go look at equipment. They say depreciation on equipment is 15% diminishing balance. Take into account that a new computer was bought for 12,800. Right? And this was recorded, which means that this equipment is already the old and the new, because it's recorded. Does that make sense? So that 52 is going to be my closing balance. And then I know my opening is going to be the 52 less the 12, and it's going to give me 40. And 40 less 5280 gives me? Yes? Okay, so when I do a T account for vehicles, equipment, whatever, so your basic T account has got an opening balance, a purchase, and a closing. So the purchase is 12,800. Now your question is this 12,800 recorded or not? Because if it's not recorded, it means this is the only thing in your books, which means that the balance they give you here is the only thing in your books. Then it's your opening, and your closing is going to be 60 or 70 something. But now they say this was recorded, meaning whatever the opening was, I already added this to give me the closing, which is the 52,800. Is everybody shocked with that? Okay. Yes.
But when 5,200 minus 12,500 is
40,000. No, it's 800, sweetie. Did I have something wrong? Is it 12,300? No, it's also 12,800, baby. Yeah, I just think you saw the one as a 3. Okay, is everybody happy? Okay. Now, what is my carry value? Is that right? 34,720? Okay. Now I need to depreciate. So I know depreciation, new and old. The new one is 12,800. They say it's what? How's the 15%? How many months did I have it? I bought it 1st of March and my year ends 30 June. So it's March, April, May, June. It's 4 months. And that gives me 640. The old one, now I know I need to go look at the method. They say it's the diminishing balance. So is it carry value or cost? Carry value. It's actually easy like that. If they say it's on cost, then it's on cost. If they say it's on diminish, which means smaller, the smallest value, then you use the carry value because that's smaller. So now I say 34,720, 15% gives me, and I add them. And now I need to get my carry value, so I say 34, let me highlight, I like highlighting. 34 plus 12 minus 58 gives me
what was the period for 34,720?
the period for?
34,720.
It's the whole year, so it's 12 over 12. The old one is always the full year. Okay, so what is my carry value?
41672.
And then I know my accumulated, I can either say 52 plus 58, or I can say 41 less 52. So that gives me 1112. You ready? So now income statement, balance sheet. First thing you do, you write down the format. Ne? And since you've already got the format here, you don't have to do the outlay. I would suggest you go and you transfer the depreciation immediately, that you don't forget, because this is a very easy principal mark. This they will give you a principal mark very easily, sorry. And in the balance sheet, you go to tangible assets there, and you go transfer this carry value, the 1911. 1911, because that is also a principal mark immediately. And then you go and you take your trial balance and you just go put in all the balances in the right places. I'm not going to record that. I just want to make sure, because sometimes in a test I will ask note 3 separately as a separate question. And then in the balance sheet itself, I will not ask you to do note 3, but I will give you, for instance, the information I gave you now. And then you need to remember that your tangible assets is most the opening, ne? So it would be land and buildings, vehicles, equipment, ne? Plus addition, ne? Less accumulated, because there's most one for vehicles and one for equipment, less depreciation. And then you get that, and you show this, because I will literally give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, And if you had to calculate depreciation, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 marks. So can you see you cannot afford not to show the calculation. Okay, is everybody with me? And then in the end, and let me do it for you that you can see it works out. So the land and buildings is 104, ne? Plus the equipment, less the accumulated, plus the addition, less the depreciation. And if you calculate that, you're going to get the carry value at the end. Can you see it's the opening, movements, depreciation. Gives you in the end the closing. Okay, yes, babe. So the last depreciation would be the adjustment, the one that you had to work out. Or if I don't give you any info here, you can look in your nominal section. Maybe I already calculated it, then it would be their depreciation. Okay, so in other words, if I look here, this is in the balance sheet, ne? And this would be in the nominal or in the adjustments. Is everybody sure? Go try it like that. Okay, let's go on. Balance sheet, trial balance, everything all de mekaar. Here we go. Fixed deposit, Capita. It's Capita Bank. And I see it's 32. Debtors control is a receivable. Bank is positive. Cash float. Then I have a creditors control. I know that's a payable. And actually I'm recording this. Can you believe it? I said I'm not gonna. Okay, and loan, Absa, 25. Then if I go to my income statement I know. Sales, less debtors allowance, cost of sales, ne? Gross profit I can't do yet. Interest on loan, interest on fixed deposit goes to interest. Yes, I also think that. And I do it again. Oh my word. Must be break soon. Okay. And then I see commission income. I'm gonna pause and do. Rent was received for 11 months. So if I look at my financial year, did I get the full 12 months? No, I am still short 1 month. I received 11. So, first of all, I know this is going to be an income. Is it an accrued or an in advance? It's an accrued income, meaning I need to add something. Okay? So, how will I do it? I go and I look. The rent is 6,600. If I divide it by 11, I see, oh, 600 still outstanding. So my rent is 7,200. I also know that 600 is an accrued income. And I know if I go to my receivables is debtors control, accrued income, prepaid expense. Ne? So I know I need to add the 600 here. R500 of the commission income is for the next financial year. Meaning this is a prepaid. Now I know accrued plus future minus. So I go to commission income in my income statement and I'm going to subtract the 500. So it gives me 5,000. But I also know that the 500 here is an income received in advance. And if I go to my balance sheet, I know my payables is creditors control, accrued expense, income received in advance. So I need to add 500. Everybody with me? Next one. The telephone, which is an expense, for 350 is still payable. So is it an accrued expense or a prepaid expense? Accrued, because I still need to pay it. Accrued is going to make my expense more. Ne? What is a telephone? And it's 350. So my telephone is now 612.42. I know that the 350 is also a payable. Okay, because it's an accrued expense. Can you see you cannot do the face if you do not know the notes? Okay, you have to know your notes. Next one, insurance. So now I'm with insurance. Includes a premium for 1 January till 31st December. Now, I want to explain insurance to you. Now, me personally have more than one insurance premium that I need to pay every month. So premium is the amount that you pay the beginning of the month so that you are insured for the rest of the month. I can't not pay my insurance, get in a car accident and claim. Ne? I was not insured because I didn't pay. You guys get it? So now you get different kinds of insurances. So for me personally, I have a life insurance. I have a car insurance. I've got home possessions inside the home insurance. Okay? Then because I live in a complex and I pay a levy, part of that levy is insurance on the building structure, if something goes wrong with the structure. Can you see it's already 4 premiums that I'm paying every month? Okay? So some of those, I once had a life insurance that I paid once a year. January it would go off and it's only January. Okay? Most premiums actually go off every month. Now, businesses will have even more insurance because they insure their stock. Why would they insure their stock? Because if the stock gets stolen or if the stock gets broken, not broken by their fault, but let's say there is a hailstorm and it breaks the windows of the storage and it goes in and it just destroys everything. So then they take out insurance on that. They also have third party, those insurances that insure them if a client sue them. Did you know why your specialist doctors are so expensive? Because they can be. But not just that. They also need to take out insurance. And one of the reasons why a lot of gynecologists no longer does births, okay? In other words, they don't do babies. It's because of their insurance that's so high. Okay? Because let's say something goes wrong in the delivering of the baby, then the parent can sue that gynecologist. Ne? So that is part of the reasons why their fees are so high, because and operations are so expensive, is because of the premiums the people have to pay, the doctors. Okay, so what I'm actually saying is, if I'm looking here at insurance, that 2,000 Rand isn't for one insurance only. It's for different insurance premiums, for different ways of being insured. I actually saw the other day you can insure yourself if you're driving a taxi every day. There's a company that insures you 30 Rand a month. If you, I mean literally, you can be insured for everything. Dancers insure their legs. Singers insure their voices. Why? Because that's how they make their money. So if they lose it, they want a premium. My mother had breast cancer, so I was insured against breast cancer. And then I got it, so insurance paid out for me. You can literally insure for almost everything. Okay, if they will pay out, that's another thing. Okay, so in other words, that 2,000 is the sum of a lot of premiums. Okay, and now they're telling me that this insurance here has these 400 Rand inside that 2,000. Okay, this is a premium for the period 1st Jan to 31st December. Now I want you to see here, if I draw my financial year, it ends 30 June. When does your calendar year end? 31st December. Now can you see this insurance is according to the calendar year? So meaning, if he paid me on the 1st of January, and that premium is till 31st December. Can you see he paid it 1st January 22 till 31st December 22. Can you see that? My financial year is slapdash there in the middle. So in other words, yes, I paid a premium for the full time, for 400 Rand for that full time. But can you see, I now only want to show the part that's included in this financial year. Because the other part is part of the next financial year. Okay, so how will I do it? The easiest way to do it is you say, okay, so how many months is inside this year? January, February, March, April, May, June, 6 months. So now, if I paid for 12 months, 6 months is for this year. It means 6 months is prepaid. Does that make sense? Another way to do it is you can say, oh, okay, financial year ends 30 June. The insurance year ends 31st December. So I count July, August, September, October, November, December. Also 6 months. So you can either work out what you suppose, what is part of this year subtracted from the total, or you can straight work out what is prepaid. So I've established 6 over 12, which actually means half of it is prepaid, which is 200 Rand. But I'm going to show you the calculation to make your life a little easier. So you're going to say 400 times, I only want to subtract 6 from the 12 months, which gives me 200 Rand. Okay. Now you agree with me that 200 Rand is prepaid. Is prepaid receivable or payable? It's prepaid, ne? And is it receivable or payable? It's receivable. Remember, they are not, I don't need to pay the expense anymore. They need to pay me back because I overpaid. Can you see it's overstated? I overpaid. But they're not going to give me back my money. What are they going to give me? They're going to give me a service next year. So it's a service that's receivable. You see? So, let's go look. It's going to go in here. Receivables. That is why I'm saying it's extremely important that you remember this. Can you see, if I do receivables and I do payables, please pay attention. Receivables, it's easy to say, it's an accrued income. Payable is an accrued expense. Right? But now the future swap. Each one is going to have an income and an expense. So future expense goes to receivables, prepaid expense. Income goes to payable, income received in advance. You need to learn this. Study it. Don't get confused. It's going to cost you unnecessary marks. Okay. Next one. Next one is the depreciation and all of that. There's not a fixed deposit that matures. There's nothing that happens. So I can close off. Right. So how do I close off? What's my sales? 2 less 176 gives me 4,800. Okay. Block and top gives me 12,13,1. Bottomoise. And let's see. I've got only water and electricity still. Stationery. Salaries. Now I block and top. Anybody? 150 or 25?
Wait, ma'am, can I ask, are we not going to add the repairs under operating expenses?
Yay! We are definitely meant to add the repairs. Thank you so much, baby. And the repairs is 2,000. So this is 21. 21,825. Thanks for being awake. And what is my operating profit now? So 55 less 21 gives me 34,075. Like that.
Are we supposed to add debtors allowances to operating expenses?
No. Debtors allowance is most there. So, interest income 2208. Total expense I minus. And that income, I will show it again. I just do this for recording. I'm going to move. That 341 goes here. And what is the one thing that I still didn't do here? It's also this little one there. So now you can decide. Can you see? You can either, now see how this is going to work. I'm going to show both, right? That you can see it. The one I'll do in green, where I decide it's part of bank. Okay. So if it's part of bank, can you see bank is now going to change? Because bank, if it had a balance of 817, and now I'm subtracting 47, what's going to happen to bank? It's no longer cash, it is now a overdraft. So my overdraft is going to be 817 less 47, and that gives me 646 183. Is that right? Okay. If, however, and that I will do in red, I decide I want to put it with creditors, the cash will still stay 7512, whereas with the other method it would have been 440, and that 47 I would add to trade and other payables. Yes. Yeah, the 817 plus the 440 gives me 1257 and 47. Or if I did it as bank, this will stay 440 and bank will become a overdraft. So that's the two options. So obviously I'm not going to balance it now for you because I just want you to see both options. I think it's good that you see both options. Okay, so let's go. So finish. This is 32. This is, okay, inventory is literally just my trading stock, ne? Because they didn't give me any adjustment, but I've lost my trial balance. Who took my trial balance? Was it you? Trading stock is 23.1. Receivables is 10, what? 590. Okay, I'm not going to block on top because it depends what you have. And I'm not going to bottomize because it depends what you have. This goes here. Okay. Then, what's my owner's equity? And my loan. Please guys, don't total owner's equity here. It's not necessary. This is a heading, just like assets here is a heading. Can you see there's nothing? I just want to show you all the nothingnesses everywhere. So there's nothing. Ne? There's nothing. There's nothing. Okay, don't put figures in there. It's not necessary. Okay. I'm not going to block on top here. And I'm not going to do this. Okay. Is everybody sharp?